I hope you're all well. So welcome to another kind of local walk. So I'm out relatively late this afternoon. Another kind of hint and tip for you that if you are bored of doing all your same local walks and go to the same sort of area, try going at a different time of day, because you'll see things in a completely different light. So I've come out when the sun's going down today, to try and sort of see things again in a completely different light, and it's just so beautiful. And you do when you get to see things that are a little bit more quirky and that sort of thing. It's very muddy on my little journey today, albeit I'm on a little path at the moment, which is really quite cute. But yeah, so I'm out looking for a little spot where I can show you my cooking, if I can speak, my cooking gear. So I'm out doing the Show Me Your Brew as I got nominated. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. So I'm going to talk to you later on as well about how I transport my sort of cooking equipment and that sort of thing. So stay tuned and I will speak to you all a bit later. Down now. It's getting a bit cold, so I thought I'd stop and make myself a brew. Like I said earlier, I have been nominated to make myself a brew and show us your brew hashtag. So that's what I'm doing. As well as that, I'm going to show you two different ways that I carry my kind of essential brew kit, because I do think it's quite essential. So the first way that I carry it is if I'm on a day trip, a day expedition, and I'm not carrying too much stuff, so I'm just kind of out for myself, I will carry just a little bit of a tub. In the tub has, again, sugar, tea bags, it's got some coffee, and the all important lighter. I do, when I go kind of wild camping and I'm trying to pack light and I know that I'm maybe out for kind of 1 or 2 days, I kind of limit the amount of stuff that I take. So what I do is in my jet boil on the inside, I have my own little sort of pouch. I mean, jet boils are pretty good. You can get the smaller canisters as well, and they will fit inside of your jet boil as well, but again, you can still pack a few things in here. So in my kind of jet boil wild camping kit, it's in a Ziploc bag. I've got my tea bags, I've got some little pouches of sugar, and then I have my lighter, which is wrapped up again in another plastic bag. I know, lots of plastic, I'm not a fan of it, but it's the only way that I can think to try and keep things dry and sort of safe, if that makes sense, in terms of like it's not going to get spoilt or ruined or anything. So that's kind of the way I pack it. In terms of milk, if I'm wild camping and I'm out for a number of days, I will take kind of that Coffee Mate, the white milky powder, instead of actually taking fresh milk, because obviously keeping fresh milk isn't great, especially when you're out and about. But if I'm on a day expedition, what I would do is I'll bring like a little tub or something with some lifelong milk in, just enough for the day. Obviously if there is more of us, I would have maybe a slightly bigger tub, but again, I don't want to do that if it's going to cause weight, so depending on how far I'm travelling on that day, I may not even use kind of lifelong milk really. But yeah, so they're the two different ways that I tend to keep my essential tea and coffee when I go out and about. So I'm going to make a cup of tea while I'm here. I'm pretty much set up, so I might as well do it, hadn't I? So basically, when I am out and about, I do try to make sure that whatever I take with me has like a dual purpose. So although I do have a lot of kind of food bags and that sort of thing, I do tend to use them as a kind of sort of bin bag, if you like, and that will help make sure that I don't leave any trace whatsoever, which is what we should all do, really. So yeah, so that's kind of where I stand with that. Thanks to Tav, he nominated for my Show Us Your Brew, so thank you for that. I mean, I'm supposed to kind of continue it, but I think everyone that I know has already been nominated, so I'm not really too sure who I'm going to nominate just yet, but we will see. So anyway, got me water. Let's crack on. So I do try and obviously make sure that it's as flat as you can get it, your gas canister, because what you don't want to do is you don't want it to blow over. Let's try and make sure I'm all set up. Wonderful. It's awkward doing it like this when your hands are cold as well. There we go. So in terms of my jet boil, okay, so I have a few things that I do. So obviously jet boil, they come with kind of like a sort of locking mechanism at the bottom, which I think is brilliant for when it's like quite windy weather, and obviously you want to make sure that you lock it into place. It's not windy today, so what I've done is I'm not actually going to lock it in. Reason for that is there's a number of different ways, there's different versions, there's different opinions. My opinion is, and I've had this happen to me before, is if you put too much water in and it overflows and you're trying to turn it off but it's locked in, obviously you're going to burn your hand. So there's kind of pros and cons to it. So what I sometimes do is I don't lock it in, so at least then when it's ready I can just lift it off and pour it away. Whereas, you know, it saves me from burning my hands. If anyone knows me, they'll know that I get distracted very, very easily, and I may get distracted with talking to people, and then that means that it may overflow. So lesson learned, don't get too distracted, don't be like me. Do have a spoon. So usually in my day box I'll have a spoon. If I'm wild camping, obviously I'll have like some kind of spork or something. Now, some people are going to judge me right now, please don't, but I do like my sugar. I only have two teaspoons of it, but yeah, I know it's bad for you. I have been switching to brown sugar, although this is white. This is just because of what's in my day pack. So yeah, please don't judge me right now. I do like my sugar, and I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I'm happy for that. So yeah, so out making a brew, enjoying myself. It's quite nice actually. So if you're doing local walks like myself, and you're doing the same route over and over again, I know it can get a bit boring. So what you could do is actually take your camping gear out, make yourself a good cup of tea. That's one way of kind of sprucing it up a little bit, if you like your little route. Yeah, it's just one way of doing it. It just kind of makes you appreciate it, makes you be able to sit down. You can maybe have a look, can you see any squirrels, what birds can you see, what birds can you hear, you know? So it's kind of quite nice to do this sort of thing sometimes, and especially if you have done the same route over and over again. And like I said earlier, you know, try and do a different route, a different time of day, to really kind of mix things up and, you know, change it. I know things are very hard at the moment, and I certainly know I've struggled at times, and it's not great, but you know, we've all got to stay local, stay at home, and we've got to do what's best for the future. But yeah, it's all good. So I know a lot of people have pros and cons about Jetboil. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's always done me well, especially when I'm out wild camping, and I just think, you know, with the boil in the bag sort of things and that sort of thing, it just really makes it. Ooh, I think the clouds come over, it's trying to rain. All that beautiful sunshine's gone. Ooh. But yeah, but it's really good. Ooh. Boiling nicely. Wonderful. So the mug that I have here today is I have my Life Venture mug. I think I said in a live with Dave Outdoors, can't go anywhere without it, and this just proves that I can't go anywhere without it, because I absolutely love it. In terms of pouring, some people pour with the lid on, some people pour without. Preferences. I have found that it's more accurate with the lid on. It means that you don't spill it everywhere, especially if you're putting it into something that's quite narrow, so like a mug. So that's one little tip for you. Ah, perfecto. And then you can just sit and enjoy a nice cup of tea. Now, I'm sure all of you have judged me on the way that I've made my tea there. Yes, I do put the milk in first. I am a teapot kind of girl, but it's fine. It's the way I like it, and that's just the way it is. So, another great tip for you, in terms of making sure we're leaving no trace whatsoever, is making sure that things that you bring with you have dual purpose. So like the little mug, there's a tiny little bit of milk in there, but it's okay. Wouldn't be enough for another cup of tea. So I'm going to pop my tea bag in there. Like so. And it means, again, I'm leaving no trace. It means that all my rubbish is all put together away. Nothing is left behind. That's all for me washing up. And then it just makes things a lot more tidier, a lot more efficient. People that know me, I'm very organised, or I try to be. So do try to make sure that all my stuff is organised the way I like it and the way I want it to be. So there's no different when I'm taking things, sorry, runny nose, when I'm taking things out, you know. Yeah, everything has a place, everything has a purpose. And I think that's something that, especially if you want to get into wild camping, that you should consider when you're packing, is what purpose does this have? Can I use it for something else? You know, when I think that's good. But yeah, so I'm just going to sit here and just enjoy the nature. There are a few spots of rain coming down now. It's a bit disappointing, but you know what? It's still beautiful. So there's my showusyourbrew, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope I've given you some nice little hints and tips there. And yeah, if you haven't been nominated and you want to go out and show us your brew, I'm nominating you now. So stay positive, guys, and well done for staying home and staying local. Try and mix it up. Let us know how you're mixing up your local walks, and enjoy a good brew out in the wild. Take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.